Oh, Canada.
Shut up, bitch!
Want to talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go yourself.
All right, there we go. So they better win tonight, otherwise I'm going to look like an asshole. Welcome to Thirsty Thursdays.
Whose sirens are those?
Is that yours again?
It's mine again. Sorry, New York City. Woo!
Yeah.
But I got a nice little new tumbler with a mountain indented into it. So this is a nice gift from someone special. So cheers.
Hey, so little thing. I just went drink shopping today, and there's a movie that we could end up talking about that inspired this drink, a potato vodka.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Not
We
sure
will
the
be
name,
talking
although
about
it's
that.
a very cool name, but they got to pay me first. So yeah, I haven't had potato vodka in a while, inspired by the Gorge.
Gorge. I don't know if I've ever
Yeah.
had potato
I
vodka.
I heard I
actually
need to
saw
try
it.
it.
Let's see if it's as smooth as I remember, although I tried a different one from Chicago. So
How is it? Drum roll.
little tinny. It's like
Okay.
I can taste the tin, a little metally.
Interesting.
Oh.
Interesting.
It says it's done in a German Russian style. It's made in Texas though. So
It's like a mixing vodka more so.
Yeah. I stick to good old fashioned brown.
well, that's what I have as a backup. That's what I have right here. I only had that just as a sample.
So Kyle's already double fisting on Thirsty Thursdays.
I wouldn't use that phrase, but
Yeah.
Kyle, you
Sounds
could
a little.
this isn't
You would
only. We got to stop doing it with the OnlyFans thing. Inviting the gay dabbler on and all that.
Yeah.
Kyle, you would appreciate when I came back from Chicago, my Las Vegas friends tried Malort for the first time. And I put them through that. They said it tastes like toilet bowl cleaner, and my question would be, how do you know what that tastes like?
What are you basing that off of?
Yeah, I like Malort, so.
And then last thing before everyone, what the fuck are you doing? I am gonna have a cigar because it's freezing out.
Yeah.
Are you outside?
No.
Are you by? Oh. I was like,
No, he's just gonna stink up his joint.
Is he by his campfire?
Not tonight. So.
Oh, and Nadia just dropped off, and I was just gonna say,
I'm back.
So this is the first time that Sin and Nadia are on together.
Oh, yes.
I wanted to connect the horror
I
fans.
know he's been like wanting us to be on the same stream since forever.
Well, I think you guys would get along. Your movie taste definitely aligned.
like horror.
From what I can tell. Yeah.
It's just because they're women. That's why he's thinking that.
I was going to say that, but
Yeah, that's pretty sexist, Paul. So you better watch it.
I know. I'm already getting canceled. At least in Canada. Yeah, but we were just on a stream together the other night, watching a very awesome movie, My Dead Friend Zoe, which only Kyle and I saw out of everybody. And then we did talk about The Gorge, which I did see. And I also
saw that.
You saw it after the stream, right?
I saw it I saw it last night. Yeah. And then we have a lot to talk about with Captain America and
Dear God.
and Flight Risk. I don't even know where to start because there's good stuff in there and bad stuff in there. Yeah.
Which one? Flight Risk or
There's good
Captain
stuff.
I have
America?
not seen Captain America.
I have not seen that yet either.
I have zero plans to watch it.
It's
Same.
Yeah.
It's not great.
I figure it'll be on streaming pretty quick if
I'm not
do.
even.
I mean,
spend
so much stuff is
free
coming
time
on
watching it.
on
Well,
streaming.
Captain America wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but
I've
it's
heard that.
also not good. So.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard that too.
Yeah, I felt that
I
way at
think
the beginning of the movie, and then the latter half was atrocious.
I honestly was pretty excited with the Red Hulk coming out too, but I heard it just was not used to its fullest
He's
potential.
only in like a short.
That's what I
part of the
heard.
movie,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
And we're not worrying about spoilers, right?
Nope.
Oh,
No
I'm not. No,
spoilers.
I'll be fine with
Okay.
that.
Not anymore.
I don't plan on watching
No,
it.
The
so.
problem with
Yeah,
that movie
I
is
don't
that
care.
it was,
I've already
it was,
heard all the spoilers.
It's from a craft standpoint, not necessarily from like an agenda standpoint. That was our takeaway, that it kind of pulled back from some of the stuff that early screenings were pointing out, and I guess because it's been in production for so long that with the changing tides, they had to kind of rework some things. So, out of all its problems, I'd say agenda is not really its biggest problem.
Yeah, I
Did
would
they
agree
scale
with
it
that.
back then from the initial
I've heard there's a
viewing?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was in the movie that's just not there anymore. And like,
Well, I mean, this is Trump's America now, so they're probably trying to salvage what they can.
it was kind of surprising, actually. I mean, we were going in like ready to be like, okay, like considering where they went with the show
Yeah.
back in 2021, whatever that was, they surprisingly shied away from a lot of that in the film.
One
There's
of the
still little
worst
moments here
Disney
and there,
Plus
but
shows.
it's yeah, seriously.
I'm trying to mess around with the screen share, but I can't get it right. So let me not fuck around with it anymore. Remove from scene.
When I saw the Thunderbolts trailer, the recent one, the only thing I took away from that was, wow, Bucky should have been Captain America just by the little bit
Yeah.
that he was in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean because he was he was Captain America in the comics?
well, he's also
yeah.
a super soldier.
Well,
Yeah.
He's a super soldier, and he was just as old as Steve Rogers
Yeah.
was. So they fought together.
Foreshadowing the Bucky foreshadowing over numerous films, and then they just
Yeah.
flipped the script very abruptly at the end of Endgame.
Well, that's
On
because
I mean, it was like supposed to be him, and then they flipped it at the last second.
they were doubling
But,
down.
I mean, they could have like
They were
slotted him in, even if
double
he only
fisting.
got.
Well,
Yeah, they tried to double fist, and I mean,
Yeah.
so Steve Rogers, Chris Evans had some gravitas, and I'm not saying that Anthony Mackie doesn't.
well, he was
He's
always
just-
third tier.
Yeah, exactly.
He made the triumvirate, but he was just he was like the sidekick to
Yeah,
the main
Well,
event.
because
You know?
they fast tracked him becoming
Sidekick
that
to the
character.
sidekick.
Yes.
I mean, well,
He eventually does become Captain America in the comics and
Yeah.
whatnot, but like they could have worked out a great storyline with giving it to Bucky first, and then
yeah,
do that for a film, see where that goes, and then you realize like, okay, this guy's got like too much like baggage, okay,
Right.
let's segue into Mackie now, and it would have been interesting to see that, but you could tell like they just completely fumbled the ball. They skipped over Bucky. They didn't know what to do with that character, and they're like, okay, well, we'll put him over here, and then now he's going to be in Thunderbolts, but
yeah. The major problem was the Falcon and the Winter Soldier Disney Plus show, which
yeah.
has its faults,
terrible.
and we've all discussed those as if like, oh, one of the Avengers can't get a home loan. What? Like because the lender doesn't know who he is. I'm like, yo, didn't you see Thanos and like the Avengers assemble?
You
The
are
writing-
an Avenger, but what's your credit score?
The writing that they do
Right.
for Mackie in both the show and the movie is just kind of shitty
Mhm.
in
it's a
different
disservice.
in different ways. In the film in the Brave New World movie, he's kind of dumb. If you
No. He completely outsmarts the leader multiple times.
dude, okay, so the president almost gets shot, and his best friend does this really abnormal thing and tries to kill the president. and he doesn't know what's going on. Sam doesn't know what's going on, right? He doesn't.
Right.
He
Like
doesn't play out
before.
anything. And I'm just thinking, it takes about halfway into the movie for his sidekick, the new Falcon, to say, "Oh, well, look at that! I just saw this, and there was a music cue that they were using, mind control." Sam says, and I'm just thinking, hey. Were you in a fucking movie called Civil War, which was all about mind control?
Yeah.
He was a part of that plot. He was involved in that situation. He was protecting Bucky, who was a victim of mind control. Who the fuck is writing these movies? Like, who is this?
Not you.
Well, that's the thing. The movie was written 2021, maybe 2022, maybe 2023 with like script rewrites. So then they started filming it, and 2024 went a different way than they were expecting. And I'm not referring to what happened in July. I'm talking about what happened before. And they saw the political wind shifting. It's like, well, we better cut this whole thing out. So they cut out that January 6th stuff. And I'm guessing that the January 6th stuff had something to do with Sidewinder, Giancarlo Esposito's character.
I thought he was added in later.
Yeah,
I thought because
I think he was added in
Seth
later.
Rollins was taken out of the movie and Giancarlo Esposito was added in.
Yeah, he came in for the reshoots.
Oh, okay. Okay, so, yeah, but either way, like the tonal shifts of between basically every single scene, and he did feel just like added on just for like filler.
Yeah,
What I think what would have streamlined this movie would have been if you just make Red Hulk the primary antagonist. Like, forget the leader. Nobody even remembers 2008's Incredible Hulk,
Which,
even
by
though
the way, is a masterpiece compared to Brave New World.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, mostly because Edward Norton was a much better Hulk, and I'm going to die on that hill. I'm not a fan of Mark Ruffalo. But I mean, he's fine. He relegate him to rom-coms. Like, he doesn't belong in a comic book movie. He's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like I could beat up Mark Ruffalo. I don't know. Am I off base here?
Beating up Mark Ruffalo? Let's go around the table. All right. Who wants to beat up Mark Ruffalo?
All in favor of Paul beating up Mark Ruffalo, please raise your hand.
We are not advocating for violence. This is strictly hypothetical.
Figuratively.
Yeah. No, but
we have a new president now. New tone has been set.
I wouldn't screw with Edward Norton given his stint on Fight Club. Yeah. So no, but yes, adding in the leader, nobody even remembered. I'm like, oh, okay, like I kind of remember that, but I haven't seen that. Hello, box office brawler, straight from his debut. Was it your debut on Drinker's Stream?
Second time.
Oh wow,
that was a lot of fun. It's exhausting. Gosh,
you were talking a lot. Though. I can tell your voice is a bit.
Yeah. I wasn't talking that much. I couldn't. They were talking about Doctor Who, which I've never watched, and they were talking about James Bond, which I've never seen any James Bond movies.
What?
So,
what?
I know. I got a lot of work to do.
That was so shocking. I couldn't even say anything.
I deserve
it for me anyway.
I deserve to be shunned.
As long as your first James Bond experience isn't an Amazon experience.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Amazon James Bond featuring Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, for the audience that doesn't know, Amazon is now going to be spearheading the decision making when it comes to James Bond.
Does not sound good.
Look, I'll do it for them. Get one in with Idris Elba and then Henry Cavill.
No, just
for
don't,
like 5 of them.
If you get Idris Elba in, he cannot be James Bond. He
Why?
can be 007 because James Bond is a specific person. He's not.
Are you talking?
I'm talking about the race thing. Don't do race
geez.
swap. I can't stand that. Don't do that.
Is it specifically?
I do like.
I haven't read the
Elba.
books. Who's read the books?
To see him as a
Is it specifically mentioned that he's Caucasian?
No.
don't
Well, I don't know about the
remember,
books,
but
but-
he is a specific. He's an actual person. Some people said, "Well, Bond is a code name." No, it is not a code name. That is his family name.
I always thought it was.
No, it is not. In Skyfall,
Huh.
he goes to his family's place, and there's a tombstone. Bond.
Says Bond. Yeah.
I've
So
never
they did
seen
that
any
right.
of the James Bond movies either, Brawler. So I'm
You're
I'm
in
not
good
that
company.
ugly.
Books, but-
Okay,
Yeah.
well, the only reason that I make exception for Idris Elba is because that guy's charisma and his presence on screen, his sex. The guy's
Oh
a
yeah,
sexy
he's
beast,
fantastic.
all right?
Have
Yeah.
you seen
All right.
just
Luther?
watch Luther at that
I love.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good in
I mean,
Luther.
I think
Except
he's.
the movie. Don't watch. The
And
movie.
your
It's
sin,
terrible.
I wonder your argument might be okay. Then make your own series, like a Luther, your own James Bond type of.
Yeah.
Or give him
character.
another number, or just make him the new 007.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one exception, just because of the caliber of the actor. I agree with you that they should not do race swapping. It doesn't work on its own. It depends on the actor, and if the actor happens to be a different tone of skin, more melanin in his skin, then okay. But for the sake of race swapping, fuck that.
No, yeah.
It
so,
needs to
like,
be him. I
it's
agree with
it's
you.
it's all about charisma for that character. And I'm sorry, Idris Elba, he's charismatic.
It's coming out of
he's
his
got the
pores.
riz.
They're not
Charisma's
casting-
coming out of his pores.
He's fantastic.
Exactly.
I love
You know,
Idris,
so-
but nowadays, because of what has been going on in the past 5, 10 plus years, anytime that happens, I'm immediately antagonistic about
I
it.
get it.
Well,
That
yeah,
makes
but
sense.
If they had done that
If it's
20
not-
years ago, I probably wouldn't have even
Well,
thought twice about it.
If they're still trying to get 7 films out of whoever they cast, they're not going to wouldn't even
No.
consider him because he's way too old.
Oh, is
He's
that- is
52
that what
right
they're-
now.
Right.
Is that what the
He's in his.
is that what the
normally, I
idea
mean-
is to get 7?
Oh yeah, you want to cast somebody who's going to have longevity.
Who's gonna be around
for the,
a while.
for the face of the franchise for at least a decade. So
Careful about
Get
what
out.
age you're saying is old. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying it's all.
Yes,
Listen,
we have some old
I still
people
think he would
on
be
here.
fantastic. I'm happy. I'd love
I'm-
to see him do.
I'm
one
just
film
kidding. I'm joking.
But 100%, yeah, I would love to see him do it.
yeah. I mean, Henry Cavill, I think, is the perfect choice. He's what, 40? 41?
Dude, you know what's really odd, or not odd? I mean, it's a natural progression for some men, but his hairline has gone back quite a bit now in recent appearances.
Henry Cavill?
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
unfortunately.
accept it. It's
I
okay.
mean-
Really?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Alright,
Okay.
Nadia accepts
He
accepts
just
his
needs-
flaws.
I
He just
accept-
needs to see it.
I'm
Maybe
with
that's
her.
more of
I
an
accept-
insecurity of men
accept
ourselves
it.
than
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
for women
Henry
being
Cavill,
attracted to
pretty
men.
much.
Case
just
in
needs-
point, Jason Statham. That guy went bald very early in his career. He's still a.
Yeah,
But
made
it's
it
all
work.
about charisma.
I don't think
Once
I don't
again.
think Cavill would look good bald, but
No.
he just needs to go see LeBron's guy. Whoever LeBron had that got his hair back.
Yeah, he
Just
could
go see his-
afford hair plugs at this point in his career. Why not? Throw him in. But
I mean, not the '90s
either way.
one. The
Yeah,
new,
no.
new and improved hair
Yeah.
transplants they can do.
They're
now,
better
yeah.
now.
Yeah. So.
Nice. Yeah.
How did we go from? Oh,
I-
okay.
that's what I was
Captain,
just wondering.
Captain America to
recast.
Hair
to
plugs.
hair
Well, that's what happens on this stream. But yeah, any like final thoughts on Captain America other than it being like I feel that a lot of the movie was left on the cutting room floor. There's probably the whole cut, like if you just get everything in there, it's probably going to be like 5 or 6 hours.
Well, let me ask you guys. I want to get your opinion. Right now, it sits worldwide at $208 million. Where do you guys see it finishing?
4, maybe
300.
450.
I think it's gonna do all right. Everybody thinks it's gonna tank. I have some buddies, and I was just saying this on Open Bar, how so many young people, they're just so used to eating this slop that they think it tastes great. And no offense to my friends, but they watch this. They watch this 3-4 times over. I went with one of my buddies. I love him. He's great. If he's watching this, no offense, buddy. But what are you doing, man? He saw it twice before, and then he saw it again with me. Because when I heard I was going to be on Drinkers Open Bar, I wanted to be sure I knew more about it. So I saw it again. And he's going to see it again next week. It's like, bro, it's not even good.
Dude, even if it makes $400 million, that's still not enough
Worldwide.
to break
Worldwide,
even.
No.
That's still not even a break-even number.
I think like a break-even number is at least $1 trillion, but maybe 1.1. Sorry, not $1 trillion. My bad. Sorry. Look,
that was a hell of a PR budget they had on that movie.
Avatar 5.
Billion.
I mean, with all the reshoots, it could be. But
No, that's how much they'll spend.
Yeah. Plus marketing, plus, whatever the theater their cut is. Like, that movie's got to make $1 billion to make a profit.
Who here really buys into the claim of the $180 million?
Oh, no.
No, not a chance.
I definitely
Not a
don't.
chance.
Disney has adjusted their budgets on every Marvel film. Like, they'll say,
How
they did with Marvels, right? They're like, oh, it cost X amount, and then months later they're like, oh, we readjusted it. Now it actually costs double that. So it's all bullshit. Like, that number's going to get readjusted once the financials finally all come out. They've done it.
Especially since we were already hearing reports of it being about
3 or
300
4
million plus.
Oh yeah, that's way more accurate.
Yeah.
What's
I
the
don't
next
know how
one?
they're allowed to put that number out there. How the hell? Why are they allowed to put 180
Because
million?
maybe they can claim that was the budget,
Maybe that's just
even
the
though they
original
spent more
production
than the
budget of the film, right?
Because
They're like,
because
it's in the
this
fine
is
print.
tax fraud, plain and simple. At
Yeah.
this point,
That was the
it's a
budget of
tax
each
write-off.
reshoot.
Right, exactly.
I think the next one, Nadia, were you asking what the next one was going to
Yeah.
be? Thunderbolts? Is
Thunderbolts.
that one? Is that the one
Oh,
the next one is going to be?
gosh.
Second.
Okay.
So that one, I basically stopped reading comics right about the time that they actually made Thunderbolts a thing. This was like 1997. I'm aging myself, but it was an entirely different team. From what I recall, it was like Baron Zemo, who was played by Daniel Bruhl in a bunch of the movies. Maybe like the Chameleon from Spider-Man. It for sure it was Thaddeus Ross.
Oh yeah.
I forget exactly who the original team, the original cast was, but it was like villains pretending to be like basically it was Suicide Squad back in like 1997, and I think so. With Thunderbolts, I think that it's going to try to follow what Brave New World did. And what Brave New World did was try to be Captain America 2, the Winter Soldier, right? It tried to be a political spy thriller, and it failed at that because of reshoots. The whole thing's a jumbled mess. Thunderbolts, I haven't heard too much about reshoots in Thunderbolts, so maybe it can pull it off. Like, I'm guessing it's going to be an average movie. I do enjoy Florence Pugh Pugh, and
she sucks.
She's all right. She's all right.
She sucks.
Is Taskmaster still a woman?
Yeah,
Taskmaster sucks too.
I'm out.
You know what I heard? I don't know if this is true or not, but I've read this several times over that she supposedly dies in the first fight.
Yep.
Do they
I like the sound of that.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Listen,
The one that
the
one
Florence Pugh
character
Pugh or
that's supposed to-
Pew pew?
No,
Not Pew Pew.
Taskmaster.
I wish it was Pew Pew, but no. it's
Wait, Brawler, explain. Why do you not like her?
Me?
Aside from her terrible fashion choices on the red
I don't
carpet.
know. I just don't think. I don't think she's funny. I don't like her attitude. I don't like how she's like unenthused and bored.
In
I think that's
any movie.
No.
or-
I'm just talking about her character Yelena Romanov.
I loved her character in
Okay.
Black Widow.
No.
That made the movie for me, and I didn't.
Oh, well, there you go.
And the thing is, until I saw that, I wasn't a fan of hers because I saw her in Midsommar and total
that's
turn
right.
off. Hated her in Midsommar. I didn't want to see her. I didn't want to see her little pouty face. Her face annoyed me.
She was
She always
actually
does this downturn with her mouth when she's playing like she's all, and I was just like, I'm so sick of that face. But then I saw her in Black Widow. And I was like, okay, I like her character. I like especially, I think probably what it was because her character made fun of Black Widow flipping her hair and doing the funny little lands when she, because I
Honestly,
hated that about Black Widow too.
I think the only movie that I've actually liked her in was Fighting with My Family. I think that was like the only.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
that was a
That's
good
crazy.
movie.
That's her. It doesn't look anything
yeah.
like her.
Mm-mm.
I still want to see that one. I've heard a couple people recommend
pretty
that
good.
one to me. Yeah.
She was okay in that movie with Andrew Garfield, where basically she plays a character who gets cancer. And it's
We Live in Time.
We Live in Time. I thought it was good. But
I thought the ending screwed the movie up by making the emphasis about her aspiration as a cook rather than to be a mother and a wife. Like the emphasis was about the importance of her being a chef, and then she just dies like in the next scene.
Hey, look, you got the screen sharing.
I got the screen sharing. I finally got it to work. Well, this was actually a suggestion by Brawler, and I need to figure out how to implement it properly for the new live stream. That
it might be it might be this software we're using.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't remember what I just used. I wish I had it.
I basically need to create a template, which I haven't done. These are like the presets, which have us on the right, which is kind of stupid.
Can you even use a template in a program like this, or would you have to use OBS?
No. There's a way to make a template right here in program.
Oh, okay.
I just haven't done it. Like it could be something like this, or actually,
Kyle, are you smoking indoors? Nice.
I like this layout much better than the other because the background is so busy. It's hard to see
this is the one suggestion I can make about the background. It's just if you darken it a little bit, add some bokeh blur, then it creates a separation.
Like I have to concentrate on each square to make sure I can see.
Man. Well, here we go.
I like Corey's background.
If we can,
my background.
I want to take a tour of your background.
Nice
there we go.
I want to see all your DVDs.
Well, you look like you got some stuff behind you there, man.
I do, yeah. Got some competition.
Well, no, it's not competition.
No, man, you put me down in the bottom. What the hell?
Oh, you can hang out with me, Slav. It's not that bad.
You're in the basement.
I
don't feel that bad.
I get in trouble or something?
Yeah.
We're the outcasts, Slav.
I put Nadia and Sin in their own corners.
Okay.
There we go. All right. Kyle's at the top.
Wait, so if we're talking about Captain America, did you mention his annoying partner, Joaquin? You talking about him? Is that his name?
It is. I thought it was Joaquin, but it is Joaquin according to the cast list.
Yeah,
and
I thought,
damn, is that chemistry forced?
No,
I mean, where they're like trying to at the very end when he says, he makes some joke. Oh yeah, it was I need to get. Can you hook me up? Can the Wakandans hook me up? And Sam is like, really? You think they're gonna hook you up? Yeah, why not? And
it hurts.
I'm so glad I didn't see this.
Each scene they have to like crack a joke. In the first scene in the movie when they meet together, it's like, did you see me? Did you? I like that came in style, man. No, you didn't.
They went Disney XD on this so hard, man. Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah. So that's actually the exact thing that I was like, I just chatted up a few people just after the movie, and they're like, it was very clear they were normies, and they're like, yeah, this should have just been a Disney Plus show.
Absolutely.
When normies say that,
yeah, that's bad.
Paul, the Disney Plus show felt more like the MCU than this actual movie did. I don't know what it was about the way this film was shot. Like just its entire vibe just felt so
it's because it was cut to shit in post.
Well,
that's the problem. And reshot the shit. Like they should have just started over and like. I mean, it's not clean. It's like the little kid who's told to like clean up their room. They stuff all their shit into the closet and then it just bursts open again. You know, that's exactly what this movie was. The biggest problem with this movie was the editing, and it was so obvious. Like when one of the stupidly obvious reshoots was when Sam Wilson's trying to talk down the Red Hulk. Like you could tell it was green screen because I guess they had other shit that they shot before and they just brought him in for that one reshoot.
It looked like a Zoom background replacement.
Yes.
When Sam's talking to the leader and the leader, like right before he gets like taken down, like Sam's on the right side of the screen, the leader's on the left. And like, it looked so resolution, like with the green screen behind him. He looked like way shittier than Sam did. And you could tell the whole thing was just composited.
You could. I mean, there was also the times with Giancarlo Esposito where you could tell they weren't even in the same room.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
I thought he was decent. I liked him a lot.
Oh, he was good. I mean,
He's a
it's
good
Giancarlo
actor.
Esposito. He's great, but you could tell there were scenes where he's talking to nobody there. You know, like it's just.
It comes down to problematic filmmaking. I mean, the actors in here, I mean, are all strong, especially even on their own, separate from this movie. Like Harrison Ford, obviously is a legend. See, Bobby, I disagree with you. I actually think this is probably one of his weakest performances. He's compared to William Hurt. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It was surprisingly the contrast of what William Hurt did, the gravitas and the confidence that he brought to that role, and then you see Harrison Ford as the president, and he's just being talked to in a tense situation by his advisors, and you see he looks like Joe Biden. Actually, he's like
he does look like Joe Biden. He acts like him too.
Yeah, he was never
didn't
told.
Little burst of anger.
He
You
didn't
should
phone
watch-
it in, but he wasn't weak. Like this was a very weak performance for him. Like he wasn't phoning it in.
But I mean, no. Like his last few performances have been weak. Indiana Jones, everyone.
Yeah,
He's good in 1923. I'll give him that.
he didn't
But
do
he's
much
barely-
in the first season.
He's barely in 1923.
Let's see.
He was
Second
good while I
season
was
just
there.
It's just starting, but
Yeah, I mean,
he acts pretty good in a bed, you know, as an invalid.
I thought you were talking about something else, man.
it's Kyle's double fisting again. You know.
It's gonna bring bad vibes. You're gonna bring those weirdos back to the stream, man.
I'll say I'll still watch this one, but I'll wait for streaming because I know it'll be on Disney Plus before too awful long. But
I mean, a lot of movies lately have gone, and I only noticed this because I engage in a little sailing of the high seas. That movies just don't stay in theaters that long before they go to streaming. You know, I just pulled Companion, and we literally saw it 2 weeks ago.
I think it's
3 weeks ago.
What is it now? I think they have to. I think they have to be in there 45 days before they can go on streaming now.
Better Man hits
not every.
Better Man
some
hit
push
streaming.
that.
Is it? Maybe it might be less.
Monday.
Maybe it's 30. I don't know what it is.
It's definitely it has to be less because Flight Risk got to streaming within 3 weeks, I think.
I think
Is
is
it
Love
really?
Hurts already
Two or three
streaming?
Should have been one.
Yes,
No.
But is it?
well, you can purchase it for VOD.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think there's a difference. If it's still in theaters, though, I thought that there was some. I remember it was like after the pandemic happened, like people were like, free, like the studios and the theater chains were freaking out, and they were trying to make deals on like how that can work. And I think there was like something. Do you guys remember? Like there was something like it can't be in for less than so long in theaters or something. I can't remember what it is.
Are you talking about the Oscars rule?
No, not the Oscars rule. No,
I think it definitely would hurt theaters if they can't have a fair run for a little bit of time before they have competition at home. I could definitely see that.
Currently, Companion, One of Them Days, and the Brutalist, and let's see what else did I see. Paddington and Peru are all on the high seas in 1080p, like good ribs. And they're still in theaters. I'm checking my theater for tonight's showings.
Yeah, but is Companion available? Companion is not. Is Companion?
It's already available. Yeah,
Then
It's
that's
available
why.
to buy digitally. Yeah.
Wow.
Like on Vudu, you can rent or buy Companion right now on Fandango or whatever it is now.
I wouldn't recommend either, but
Yeah, can we go on that for a second?
Yes.
Paul, Bobby, I'm going to single you out. I think you went way the fuck overboard for the love of Companion. And that movie is a glorified extended episode of Black Mirror. That's all it is.
Sure, I still enjoyed it.
Sure.
But
I haven't
we
seen
did,
Black
we did
Mirror.
hit it. We hit it very hard in our review, but I could still enjoy something and still smack the shit out of it.
I had fun.
You gave it a
I had fun
7.
with that movie.
I love that movie.
I liked it.
I liked it. It was
Yeah.
engaging and Matt's
It was like-
score was lower, but
But
was
I
predictable.
also enjoyed that made me want to dig into Sophie Thatcher. Sorry, I
Yeah,
can't speak.
she was
Oh,
fantastic.
she's great.
She's
She's
so
great
good.
in Yellow Jacket. She's
Yeah,
great. In
but
that.
then I went
didn't-
and saw Heretic.
She was
after
good in
that.
Heretic.
Oh, Heretic's
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really liked Heretic.
Wait,
She is good.
Heretic was the one with Hugh Grant, right?
Yes.
That movie kicked ass. I'm sorry.
Right?
That was so good.
It
Yep.
was.
And I'm sad I missed that in the theater, but I've seen it now and I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's honestly in 2025, and I know we're like 50 days into this year. I've seen some bangers. I thought Companion was a banger. I thought The Gorge was a banger. We could get into that later.
I looked
Hard
Eyes
for Companion.
I had so much fun with Hard Eyes. I just saw Hard Eyes.
was fun.
I've definitely seen more that I enjoy.
Oh gosh,
than
Hard Eyes had so much more comedy than I thought it was going to have with it. I knew there was going to be some from what people had said, but I had fun. I was like, I didn't expect to be giggling as much as I did in a few spots.
Especially when he was like double feature of it with companions.
Oh, I could see that for sure.
That's a good one.
Because like I like the nuances and the themes of Companion because it resonates with an older movie, Ex Machina.
Yes.
Which I really enjoyed. Was Companion our mystery movie?
Yes.
A few weeks ago.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which was I thought it was a good. Our mystery movies have been fucking phenomenal.
Pretty good so far.
Like I really wanted Cleaner, the future classic.
It might be Mondays. It might be Mondays.
Is Cleaner
That's PG-13 on Mondays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, the Cleaner is the Daisy Ridley movie, the ripoff gender swap of Die Hard.
Oh, I haven't seen anything about that one.
Did Martin Campbell directed that?
Yeah, so dude, he did Green Lantern, so that guy ain't bulletproof.
Dude, Martin Campbell did Casino Royale. He did.
I know he kickstarted the Bond franchise twice successfully.
Yes, exactly. So I'd like to give him a little.
He's got the cachet. However, he does have Green Lantern.
Yeah. Okay, well, fair enough.
I wonder how
so he's like, it's like the scales are here right now. Once we see Cleaner. It's gonna tip the other way.
He's gonna be 50-50.
Yeah, but yeah. So I guess the biggest discrepancy is me and Bobby agree, and Kyle does not on Companion.
I just think it's middle of the road. I like your criticisms that you gave in your review, Bobby. How the fuck did Quaid not anticipate it? He didn't anticipate where the hard drive would be. To where all her memories were.
But I thought that he would even
realize that he was recording any of this.
Because he didn't read the paperwork that he signed.
Yeah, that's where I thought it was perfect for his character because he was so like arrogant and like.
Yeah, he was arrogant.
I don't know.
But,
he was.
Something else though, like, and I didn't consider this because we recorded our review like literally we left the theater and then recorded it. And then a lot of times, like when we think on a movie for like 24 hours, our reviews are a little better. But when he sits her down and explains to her that she's a robot. There's no reason for him to do that. None. And at the time, we didn't really we weren't thinking about that. It was kind of just like, oh yeah, he's just kind of like, he actually does have feelings for her. But then when like they flip the script in the end and he goes very sadistic with her, it's like, well, then why did he tell her that? By telling her that, like he kickstarted the whole thing with her.
Well, we know why.
Cruelty.
Yeah, right.
We know why he did that. He explained it all to her. Because it was for the benefit of the audience.
Was for the benefit.
It was
of the
exposition
audience.
hidden.
Exactly.
But then it becomes. This is the problem with screenwriting when it's not consistent and you're not checking checking yourself.
Right.
It becomes inconsistent with the character. It doesn't fit. It's forced, contrived, etc. And there's an example of it.
Sin, I saw your review.
Bored with it.
What's that?
Wait, sorry. Okay, hold on, because I was gonna ask you, Nadia, what your take was. I don't know if you review it.
I did a live stream on it a week ago on Hard Eyes and Companion, recommending Hard Eyes as a Valentine's Day date movie because I found Companion very predictable, boring, something I've seen before in also like Stepford Wives and such. So it was marketed as a horror movie, and they were smart to put the director of Barbarian as the producer credit on it because Barbarian was fantastic with the twist. And I was thinking we are going to get a twist, but if you watch the trailers, you see the entire movie.
Well, that's the problem with the.
Yeah,
with
I did not like that second trailer. I did not want to know that about
the teaser was great.
The teaser was
the full trailer was bad.
I even gave it the benefit of the doubt after the last trailer came out because I was like, okay, if you watch the trailers for Barbarian, it tells a different story. They kept the twist hidden until you actually saw it with the mother and such. So I was like, maybe there's something we're just not being shown. It's going to be a big twist. No. I was very bored with it the entire time. I wanted to actually walk out.
Wow.
I loved the heck out of it.
I had fun. Yeah,
I didn't feel
Oh wow! So we've got like a pretty wide range.
The only movie I
think it really does
walk out of was Love Hurts. Hated that movie.
It really does depend on what have you seen. Like, what is the amount related to what you have seen? Because if you're so saturated with a lot of things that are similar, it's going to inform the way you watch something. You know?
I mean, I've seen the Black Mirror episode. I've seen AI horror movies before. Nothing. I just felt there wasn't anything original with it, and again, very predictable in the pacing of it. So,
well, I'm gonna actually agree with the thing that you said that you've seen it before, because the entire time I was thinking of Ex Machina. Yeah, and I think that was. Do you think Ex Machina was done better, Nadia?
I think Ex Machina was done better. I think there's far fewer AI. Like, again, Stepford Wives is great. That's another one that I felt like it referenced a lot of. I was looking for more of a horror aspect to it, and to me, it was marketed more horror.
Well, it shouldn't have been marketed as horror. Yeah. It wasn't horror, like, because it was a Scream Unseen when we did the mystery movie night.
Which is generally for horror stuff.
Yeah, and so like I didn't consider this movie horror at all. But
yeah, my theater with the mystery movies, they do say the genre with it, and they did put horror with it. So
yeah, so again,
that's a good idea. They should do that.
Yeah,
because you know what? Actually, I didn't say this on the last mystery movie night. There were two people that came in for what ended up being my dead friend Zoe. And they fucking walked out when they realized it was about, veterans. And within 5 minutes, you know what the movie's essentially going to be about because it opens up in Afghanistan. They fucking walked out. I also live in Austin, so there
happens.
Some probably wokies. Not probably. There are wokies around here. I've seen them.
I mean,
people fucking still wearing masks out there.
Really? Wow.
For real. The other day, I was pulling out of the driveway, and there was a girl who was walking behind me, and I'll give her props. She actually let me get out of the driveway before she walked past, but she's still wearing a surgical mask.
Well, hold up a second. Just to be fair, they could be cancer patients. I mean, because I see a lot of people with masks around. Well, no. I'm not. I'm actually. I know.
Very unlikely. Okay.
No. So in New York, I see a lot of them, and the Memorial Sloan Kettering, the cancer center, gives out these like special colored masks. So when I see those, I'm like, oh fuck. Okay, well, fair.
Okay. So my local grocery store, HEB, I see them all the time. People are wearing masks still in grocery stores. I guarantee you.
Where are you from? You in Cali?
No, I'm from. What?
I said, are you in Cali?
No. I'm in Austin, Texas.
Oh, wow. Texas, man.
But I'm from Chicago.
There's still people with masks walking around, for sure, even in my area, and I'm in the South.
I don't know, man. Let live and let live.
They're just ugly.
They can do whatever the fuck they want, but and I'll still treat them. I waved at her when the girl who walked past me. She let me pull out of the driveway. I'll be kind, but they still get like a shaking of the head from me.
Bring back shame. Bring back shame.
No, I agree. I do that in other instances when people are behaving stupidly or inconsiderately. Like they don't flush the toilet when it's a singular toilet. I go in. I call out that guy. I say, "Dude, you're gonna come in and flush the toilet?" I don't care if there's a crowd out there. I'm going to shame them.
You're such a sweet guy.
I was going to ask you. So the only thing that made me not mention this is because we're still in the winter. But I do personally now, when the pollen is really bad, I will wear a mask because it screws the heck up out of my sinuses.
Yeah.
But I don't know what pollen's like over there in Texas.
I mean,
some people talk about how the cedar trees or some kind of.
I mean, in the Northeast, it's fucking brutal.
We have pollen spring, summer, and fall. We have it all year, and so I check levels when I have to walk outside because I'm at the age where it will really screw me up if I don't take care.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, those fucking masks, they don't stop aerosolized particles. Period. The end.
There is a reason why surgeons wear them.
To stop saliva from spitting out of their mouth because they're talking.
But they also have they also wear like different types of most
absolutely.
of the types that the public was wearing wasn't that
correct.
Type.
Yeah. Correct. Anyway,
so what's the next movie we're talking about?
That was
The Gorge. So we talked about.
They wear masks in that movie, right? No, okay.
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know.
Everyone wears a mask.
Oh shit! Wait, sorry. Who just said they didn't see it?
I haven't seen it either.
You won't ruin it for me, or
I heard terrible things. So
there's really not a lot to ruin.
There's not. So here's the thing. Yes, I agree with Kyle when you said. Sorry, Nadia, did you see The Gorge?
I just watched it about 2 hours ago.
Okay,
it's fresh.
So it's fresher than even me. Mm-hmm. So when I was watching it, I did get the passengers feel, and then it takes a hard. It's funny because the dog needed to go out exactly when Miles Teller fell into the gorge, and I'm like, fuck. Well, I guess this is a good segue. So I actually had like the two.
You had the exact cutoff. Yeah, that's
I had the exact cutoff.
Yep.
Thank you, Harvey the dog. But So my biggest issue with the second part was, and I'm guessing Nadia's going to say the same thing, that we've seen this shit before. Right, we've seen Resident Evil, we've seen The Walking Dead. It's all experiments.
What was that other one? Annihilation.
Like,
Annihilation.
So my thing, and the entire time I'm watching this movie, and I was like, "Yo, this is pretty cool. Like, it's Lovecraftian. You have like this unknown. Like, fucking hey, is it the door to hell? Is it not? What would have made the movie better for me?" Would have been, all right, fine. They somehow managed to get out of the gorge, whatever. Sigourney Weaver and her goons like go in and they die, but we don't even know what the hell it is, which is a key aspect of H.P. Lovecraft's like horror, like cosmic horror movies. The universe doesn't care. We have no idea where these monsters are coming from. That would have made the movie much better, much more compelling. Because then at the end of the movie, as the audience member, you'd be like, yo, so was it the gate to hell or not? And, you could leave the church in there, but like take all the whatever science experiments and shit out of it and make it more like Doom, essentially. I'm wearing the t-shirt. Like, we don't know what the hell is in the portal between the two moons of Mars. Like, I guess it's hell. I don't know. I think that would have made the movie more compelling for me. But I don't know, Nadia. It's fresher in your head. So what do you think?
I felt it was two movies mashed into one. You have the first half, which is more like a romance thriller. Very similar to like enemies to lovers, strangers to friends kind of books that women read, very much so. I saw the comments for that. And then you get into the weird Lovecraftian horror. And you're right, it's similar to like Silent Hill. There's other movies that do it better. I don't know how I feel about this movie. Part of me kind of likes it, like the cheesiness of the whole the first half. But man, I thought that this was supposed to be Scott Derrickson. I was expecting something dark and horror. And by the way, they need to learn to light their shit too. Half the time it was too dark on the screen as well, even their night shots. So,
too dark or too light?
Too dark at some points.
Yeah. No, I'm saying it was too dark and too light.
Too light, yes. Yeah. And then when they got into the gorge and it's all that weird smoke color and then the creatures were partially CGI, and it was darker there, probably to hide the fact that they were more CGI than practical effects.
Did you notice, speaking of exactly like in the Gorge where you just said like the, I guess, green color grading, and then it suddenly shifts to like purple?
Yep. And then it goes back to like a yellow red color. Yeah, I feel like I need to watch it again to really know if I like this or not. I feel there's potential there for it to be a fun Lovecraftian type horror, and it didn't hit certain elements.
Yeah. I mean,
the best sequence in the Gorge was, aside from the iffy CGI, in the church, they're attacked by skull spiders, giant spiders.
It's a D&D campaign. It's a Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Well,
right there.
The design of those creatures was fucking cool.
It was cool, and it made me feel like I was watching Doom. Yeah. Like it because like there are like flying, flaming skulls in Doom. So I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And
I did like the fact that Levi is like the perfect man. So brooding, knows poetry, is a sharpshooter.
Dear God, did he recite too much poetry in that movie?
Honestly, I don't mind it. It makes me want to read T.S. Eliot or something.
But I mean, he's the guy that are in all these like lady smut books, right? The sniper with the mysterious background that, only the strong, but she's so vulnerable with him in scenes, kind of like relationship. And
I believe in balance. You could still keep it, but just tone some things like that down. It got to the point where I expected her to start making fun of him.
Well, I mean, so who was it that mentioned that she was throwing himself at him? Or did I read that somewhere? I forget. Does anybody think
in our stream, I thought, kind of alluded to that the other day?
Did anybody? Because I didn't think she was throwing himself at. Sorry. She wasn't throwing herself at him.
No,
I didn't get the sign saying it's my birthday and I'll do what I want. Pay attention to me.
I don't know. I think that's fine.
I mean, they were both probably bored out of their mind.
I mean, yeah, exactly. So what would you do?
Like, we knew that was going to happen,
and he's not hard to look at either. So I don't blame her.
And neither is he.
Miles Teller is aging like a fine wine.
Yeah,
he really is.
I saw in the chat, Megan, the Texan, was saying it was her. She said she was saying she was way thirsty.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't get that feeling. I think they were just like lonely as fuck, and they just needed, I don't know.
I feel like you either needed to do the spy thriller you wanted to do, or do the Lovecraftian horror. It just didn't. Again, it felt I was watching two different movies at the mid break when they finally fell into the gorge.
But you could have the lovey-dovey stuff with Lovecraftian horror, like, ooh, they make it out of the gorge together, but don't answer any questions. Like, let the audience, leave the audience. This movie would have been much better if it left the audience with questions rather than answers.
Yeah, if they kept it singularly focused on those two characters and not cut away to Sigourney Weaver's character, just stay with them the entire time. I think that mystery would have benefited the movie.
And they probably would have saved themselves some money, without having to pay for extra actors and expensive actors like Sigourney Weaver. Or I don't know how much she commands these days, but
I can't remember the last time we even saw Miles Teller. What was he in before this? I mean, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Maverick?
No, there was that movie that came after.
Spiderhead?
Is that
that came out in 2020.
2020?
Yeah, and then
around
Top
the
Gun
same
Maverick.
time. It was also Joseph Krasinski, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, he did that. So they filmed Top Gun Maverick in 2018,
back.
But then afterwards,
that Spider movie came after Maverick, though.
Correct. So he did that. He did that a small movie, I think, during the shutdowns, and it came out at the end of 2020 because I remember watching it in Chicago.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe it's okay if people take a break from acting.
I know it's not what you're talking about, but it just made me think of Whiplash, and I
that movie was freaking great.
Yeah, I know. I'd love to have that movie. So sorry. sidetrack. I'm good at doing that.
No, I mean,
we're all good at doing that.
If we wanna gush over Miles Teller, have at it. You know?
Hey man,
he's
only
a
the
sexy
brave.
beast.
Yeah.
Whiplash is movie of 2024, in my opinion. So we could talk about that if you want.
Sorry, what movie of 2024?
2014, not 2024.
Oh, okay,
I was one.
I mean, he was also in War Dogs, which is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, that's right. With
Jonah Hill.
Oh, what's the
That's a good
chick's
one.
name? Ana de Armas. That's right.
Yeah. She was good in that. I mean, but she's good in everything, in my opinion.
Of course.
I didn't like her in
even Ghosted.
Knives Out. I don't know. I guess she
In
threw
what?
up all the time.
Oh,
It was
in
kinda
Knives
gross.
Out.
Oh, Paul, you're looking forward to Ballerina then, huh?
I am. You know, honestly, like I know we were going back and forth about this, Bobby. I don't think we're gonna have the Mary Super album with that one.
No, I'm not. Based on the trailer, there's some dialogue in there that makes me think we might be okay.
Yeah,
that'd be nice. That'd be a surprise,
wouldn't it?
It's been interesting to see how she has exploded because I watched her a long time ago before she jumped the pond and came over here when she was in a Spanish language show called El Internado. And that was when I first saw her. That was like way back when. She couldn't even speak English then. And
really?
Yeah.
I mean, she speaks perfect English.
She could not. She could not then.
Really?
She learned it like that.
Oh,
and
wow.
I remember being confused because I was watching El Internado, and it takes place in Spain. Everyone is Spanish, and she comes out and she's speaking, and she's not using vosotros, and she's not doing this. And I was like,
she's Cuban, right?
I am so confused. Isn't she? Yeah, that's when I found out she's Cuban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
her accent is still there, and it comes out in humorous moments, particularly in Ghosted when she's in a scene with Chris Evans and she finds out that he took a picture of her the morning of after they slept together, and they're in the middle of a fight sequence, and you took a picture of me? I knew you were a crepe. And it's just
a crepe.
Yeah. So
she should have never been
that
cast
hilarious.
as Marilyn. That was such a mistake. I mean, she's a great actress, but she still has the accent, and she still did in that movie, and I thought that was a terrible casting choice.
That was a bad movie, right, Kyle?
I heard.
Ghosted?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so
it was fine, I guess. It was content. It wasn't cinema.
It reminds me a little bit of, well, The Gorge, I think, is a better film, but it's in that way of appeal to the most amount of people kind of thing. I think the movie is better the first half, similar to The Gorge, right? And then it like gets really weak in the midway and all the way to the end. But the concept is fun, and there is a fun action sequence that, funnily enough, there's a bus action sequence involving like a cliff face and yada yada yada. That action sequence on its own is better than any of the action sequences in Captain America. Wow. You know,
that's sad.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, Captain America was in that.
Right.
Exactly.
So here's a question I want to pose regarding The Gorge and any movie that usually there's like a tonal shift at exactly the middle. Can that ever work? And the one example I can give where it did work was Full Metal Jacket. But what do you guys think?
Barbarian.
Like, I haven't seen that.
There's a huge tonal shift in the middle of Barbarian.
Tell me more about that.
I mean, the first half is like you have this girl showing up at an Airbnb and there's a guy there and she doesn't feel safe and you don't know if he's a good guy or not. And then literally halfway through it jumps to another character and then all of a sudden like there's all this weird comedy that starts popping up and then you're following a different character for like a half an hour until he interacts with the characters from the first half of the movie and then they tie together. But they like there's a massive tone shift right in the center of that film and it's fantastic how it switches over.
I would say there's three tone shifts in it. The first being the red flags with her and the Airbnb and the guy, so it's more of a thriller. And then they had a Bill Skarsgård casted, so the audience's red flags are going to go off anyway because of his history. And then you get the Justin Long, which is the more comedic, but then you shift back to a more like darker horror because if you the background story of the mother and the basement and all that stuff, it's more like a crime almost horror, like true crime-ish. Yeah. So
Is Barbarian real gross and gory?
Oh yeah, there's some
There's
really
a couple
disgusting
scenes.
parts in there.
There's
It's not like
disgusting
Terrifier.
things, but I wouldn't say gory.
Yeah.
Just
grotesque.
Just like,
I mean,
Disgusting but not gory. I don't know
there's
what
a
that
really
looks
like gross character. Like I wouldn't call
Yeah,
it gory. I
but
mean,
it's
there's a
not like
couple gory
Cronenberg
moments.
gross. It's
It's
yeah.
grotesque.
Hey, grotesque is a good one. Yes.
Okay.
It's
But
not
is it
like
just it caught my attention.
I will never think so positively about breastfeeding again. Let's just say
Ooh.
that's
oh boy.
another way to describe it.
I know where this is going.
Hold on. So is it as disgusting as the substance?
Oh yeah,
I
that's
haven't seen
different.
The Substance.
See, the substance
No,
is more
it's different.
body horror. It's more,
yes, substance
yeah.
is body horror. It's
Okay.
gross,
Yeah.
but it's different.
Yeah, it's not.
And it's still one of the best films of last year.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I don't know about that one. That
What,
one
The
ended up on
Substance?
my list of worst films.
Wait, sorry.
Really?
It was our
Sid-
favorite film
Substance.
of last year.
Yeah, I know you guys loved
Highest
it.
ranked film.
Sin, I completely agree with you. I'm like, what the fuck
we
was
had
Bobby
so
much
trying
fun.
to get, to
We
get
had
me to
so much
watch?
fun watching
I
that
know
movie.
you did. You,
And of
you're
course,
like,
it's
oh, we
nominated
loved
for
it. I was like,
Best Picture, which
Yeah.
hey, I'm here for it. I hope Debbie Moore takes it home. That would
That
be fantastic.
Nosferatu and Strange Darlings were my top
Love
3 of last
Nosferatu.
year.
enjoyed
Shit, I haven't
Strange
seen
Darling
Strange
a lot.
Darlings. Shit.
Strange Darlings is the
Missed
only
that
only one I've seen out of those. So
You haven't.
Hope-
Oh, that's right. You haven't
Oh.
seen Nosferatu yet.
Nosferatu is supposed to be on streaming the 21st. Talking about
I
them.
just
No, it's
Talking
already
about
it's already
that.
on the high seas. It's all
I
good.
just got my steelbook yesterday of it. I bought it
But I think on Paramount Plus, maybe. I think tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
it's supposed to
yeah.
be on there. Yeah.
Yep.
So I was planning on giving that a watch. But
Good thing
I love
everybody
that
has
movie.
Paramount Plus, right?
what's that?
I said, good thing everybody's got Paramount Plus,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, hypothetically.
I mean,
I-
yeah.
I saw Nosferatu 3 times in the theater. One on standard,
real?
and then I
I
had to go
did too.
back
Yeah.
and watch
Yeah.
it in Dolby, and it made a huge difference
Oh wow.
with the experience in the picture. And then I went again Dolby just to see it. It's just the picture's so much better.
You're
Quality
talking about
and-
Nosferatu?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you
I
know
saw
that
it.
they're releasing an extended cut?
Yeah.
I have the
that's
steelbook, the
yeah,
extended.
that's the one.
Oh,
that
that is
just
the
came
that is
out.
the steelbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, it includes
Yeah.
both. I think I got to get
Mhm.
myself one of those. I like to pick up physicals more and more now. So.
Yes.
I have the
best.
popcorn bucket right here that I turned into like a flower.
Oh, that's
thing.
cool.
Or
A
Yeah.
I just have a
Nosferatu
little poster back
popcorn
there.
bucket? They
Mhm.
made that?
Yeah.
I mean, they made a
I don't know if
Dune
I've seen it.
popcorn.
What does it look like?
Yeah, what does that look like?
Well,
Is it
granted,
a
I
giant
have
What
flowers.
is
mustache?
that?
Is it a
Is it a
coffin?
It's
coffin?
it's a
Oh,
coffin.
okay.
No,
I-
look at you spiffing it
That's
up.
cool.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I wish I could get into physical media other than video games. Like, I just don't have the room for it.
Get started.
It's tough when
Man.
It's worth
room
it.
and budget. But it's
I mean-
worth it. But it's
Yeah.
I mean,
I
well,
have like sitting next to me. I have a fucking
You have your
massive
library. You already have your digital
40
library.
4,500 movies.
Yeah, you're
over that and counting.
I'm very selective of what I buy, but I buy
Yeah.
Mm.
books more so than
Wait, sorry. What do you buy?
comic books instead of movies.
Get
like,
out! Okay. So
This
sorry.
is all comics.
This is like a
Okay.
sidebar here, but I need to ask, like, what are you still reading? Because like Marvel.
Oh no! I read indie stuff. I read horror. I don't read
okay.
mainstream like DC Marvel. A couple of things I have.
Did
but
you ever
not
read The Red
recent.
Room?
I have that. I
Now,
have
you
it.
know, my brother did these covers, by the way.
oh,
Really?
nice.
Yeah,
Get
Awesome.
out!
yeah, he did. So
Huh.
I haven't read it, but I use it as a prop because my brother did it.
Top two right
That's awesome.
here are the 2 omnibuses of 30 Days a Night that I was gifted.
Oh, cool.
And then I'm
Oh,
reading.
that's right.
currently
Because
some-
30 Days of Night was a comic book before it was a
Comic
movie.
book.
Sure was.
Paul,
I've got,
you were
like-
right. Nadia and Sin, they love each other.
I
I think
see.
I've got 6 boxes of comics.
Something else
single
my brother
issues.
did. Sorry, I'm pimping my brother up.
Well, that's
One of
cool.
them.
He illustrated that?
He did the cover.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
sweet.
Nice.
He
What
also
is
did a
that?
Red Sonja variant cover as well. It's called
Mm.
Viking Wolf. It's done by
Wow.
Mark Polton. Yeah, Mark Polton.
That's
Actually,
sweet.
Nadia, I have another question. Sorry, like now I'm like, you've piqued my interest. Do you have like, what's your go-to like favorite like H.P. Lovecraft graphic novel? Like not of H.P. Lovecraft, but in that style.
Yeah. Lock and Key, I like because I think it has a little bit of Lovecraftian to it. Something is Killing the Children is currently what I'm reading. It has a little bit of feel. My favorite all time, and it has kind of that, is the Harrow County, which I have the big omnibuses here and the singles somewhere. Oh man, I have to look through. What else do I got in here? I've got Death Follows, Eat the Rich. I've got a bunch of Hellblazer, Saga. More stuff down. The Boys. I read The Boys before it was cool. All right. And the comic's better. And the fact that they're trying to adapt Crossed, and I am an OG Crossed reader too, that will never do well on screen.
Really?
They will.
Why
yeah.
not?
Have you ever read Crossed?
Uh-uh.
Okay, Crossed is probably, if you take the most deplorable thing you can think of a human being doing to another human being, like the worst thing.
Okay.
No age or sex matters in this, and I'm trying to keep this as PG as possible. It's about like this, think like 28 days later, like a virus that hits people that makes them turn off their emotions, and they're just the most violent feral thing ever. And it's very sadistic, it's very dark, and they're trying to adapt it for a TV series. Crossed. And I read it
graphic novel.
Yes, I read it for a long time, but it got similar to problems like I see with The Walking Dead and other comic books. The characters might change, but the story is
repetitive.
To it. So yeah, it's very gruesome. Cannibalism.
Ooh.
And age doesn't matter in these graphic novels, so keep it as
Garth Ennis.
Tell me.
Garth Ennis, yeah.
Garth Ennis
Damn.
is the best.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty gross. It's pretty gross.
Well, Megan the Texan agrees with you on Hellblazer.
Yep.
No, well, I mean it's Hellblazer.
She loves Hellblazer.
I've got like a stack of this big to read. I've got to find the Buffy the Vampire Slayer comics. That's what I'm on the next time. I also have
the old
all the
ones?
original.
Oh,
all the
I
original
got the
single
whole,
issue.
like hardcover season 9.
Yeah, where they continued the series after.
They continued the series. Yeah, that's back when I was still collecting. Yeah,
I'm big on that. I have like the Penny Dreadful ones for it.
Oh, cool.
My prized possession is probably I have first issues of the single issues of first issues of The Stand, Stephen King's. Yeah, so
wow. I mean, it makes me feel so like a normie because all I did was like Marvel and like a little bit of Ninja Turtles. Damn.
That's my husband. My husband is all Marvel. Yeah. No, not DC so much, but Marvel, Ninja Turtles, all that stuff over there.
So. I have every Uncanny X-Men like of the first run going back to like 1975. it's pretty bad. Anyway, sorry, Bobby. You were saying?
No. I was going to say, Nadia, were you a fan of Preacher at all, Garth Ennis?
Yes, I have all Preacher issues as well.
Okay.
I'm
what did you think about the show? Did you like the show?
I liked I think the first 2 seasons were decent enough to adapt something, because that is a hard comic, I feel, to adapt to screen. And then it just went off the rail and just fell off, I felt. Like I don't think it ended very well. I thought the casting was a unique choice.
Dominic Cooper?
Didn't. Yeah, it didn't work for me at first, but it grew on me.
I like him
after watching.
But I felt like that show needed to be on like HBO or something, or
yes,
it needed to be like rated R, like in the best way, you know.
And some of these like I've read Paper Girls, which was adapted, I think, over on Amazon for a season or 2. Comics way better. It's very hard to certain these sci-fi horror kind of comics. They're hard to adapt because comic books you have such freedom to.
I mean, that's why H.P. Lovecraft hasn't been really adapted very well.
I loved Lovecraft County. I think it was
Lovecraft Country.
Country.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a good book. I don't know. I read.
I liked
book,
the series till the ending. The last episode, it was just. I don't know. It's just
they shouldn't have just made it a one-off series this season though. Like they should have continued it, and they were just like, "No, this is all we're doing." Like what?
I thought they were planning on continuing it. They just didn't get the views, so they
do have a sequel to the book called "The Destroyer of Worlds."
Interesting.
I haven't read that one, but I don't know. I really enjoyed the book.
There's a lot of those, though, aren't there? They're really hard to adapt to a live action type of movie. It's just the creativity, the artwork, the visual that you're used to with some of those. It's just hard to adapt it over to. So one I know, probably completely different, but one I was just talking to with a good friend, growing up, like getting into high school when the Spawn comics started coming out. I really got into
Spawn
them.
Was the shit.
Really loved them. I wish the movie could have done more, but the Spawn animated series, I really enjoy.
Yep.
Oh, so good.
I stayed up late to watch that.
Yeah.
I have a first issue, single issue in my box somewhere.
Same.
Packed away. Yeah.
But that's where an animated series can adapt to a little bit more, because you can just go with it. I mean, there's constraints with going live action, and
I feel there's a
CGI
hesitation with adapting for adults. I mean, nowadays there's more animations like The Witcher and things that Netflix have been doing that are targeted more towards adult, but I feel it's still
back
in a
then
sense
it was
like
a little campy.
Yeah, but it's like I don't want to say taboo, I don't know what the right word is, but adult animation is just not something people are willing to put their money into because they don't see the
allure.
Thank you. The allure to it, maybe, because like to me, if they ever redid the Game of Thrones series, do it as an animation.
I wonder if they'll do more with Spawn, though, because I always thought Spawn was real interesting. I'd like to see them try that again.
They almost did with Jamie Foxx. It was like really close. Jamie Foxx was going to be fun.
He'd be sweet.
I love the old movie. I know it's cheesy. I know it's really bad. I know the CGI doesn't hold up, but I love it.
I don't want to go back. That animated series is
great. So speaking of the animated series and like someone who could possibly play the character, holy shit!
Idris Elba. No.
That's right. No, I'm not kidding. Like,
I thought for Bond though, I thought it would always be something like Tom Hiddleston or if they want somebody younger, go with Aaron Taylor Johnson too.
Wait for which? For who?
For the Bond earlier on.
Johnson. Or what about Taron Egerton or Edgerton?
Wait,
his name
so
is?
who is the new Bond?
I don't know.
I thought it was a woman.
How are we back to Bond? We just...
I thought it was a woman. I thought there was the rumor about the guy from. That was the
Aaron
the
Taylor
Killer.
Johnson was.
I thought he was on track.
That's what I thought.
He was.
But
I thought
he was on the short list, but nothing.
Oh, might not be
But he's young enough. I feel if they want somebody to go for 10 years or so, he would be a prime candidate.
You got to go a little younger.
You think so?
Well, no. I mean, like, I think he is a little younger.
Yeah.
So I'm agreeing. I think he's a good age for it to go.
What was Daniel Craig when?
It depends what you think is younger. to me,
younger than me.
Younger
than me. That's right.
You can start to see the mountain in here. This is Mammoth Mountain.
Paul, that looks like you just got robbed. Like there's less space in your glass.
I mean, there is, but it's my favorite place in the world. So I love that fucking mountain. So I like the fact that it's like indented into it. But yeah, you're right, and it kind of changed the flavor profile of the whiskey a little bit because like all the ice was on top, and I was drinking like the bottom.
You put ice with your whiskey?
Don't put ice in it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I know Kyle's gonna. I actually like ice because
Keep it neat.
No. So here's why I like ice with it. As the ice melts, it actually changes the flavor profile of the whiskey.
Yeah, weakens it.
No,
that's exactly what they were attending. That's exactly when they were making it.
No. It brings out more notes. Like you can notice all the flavors. You're in Flavor Town when you put ice in your whiskey.
Well, and sometimes it depends on like what the proof is of it too. Because I can see throwing a little dash of something in there if it's a
fireball.
If it's 100, no, but there's some good barrel proof whiskeys that are 100 plus proof that you throw a little cube in there, a couple drops of water in there, it probably wouldn't hurt you.
Well, I am going to New
Put
Jersey.
a couple drops of water in there to open it up a little bit.
There you go. Get the notes.
I do like it cold though. I'd much rather like warm whiskey.
No, I agree with
the bottle in your freezer. Put the.
That's what I always have.
But
my bourbons and my drinks in the freezer.
By putting it in the freezer, I don't know if I'm fucking up the flavor profile.
Probably messing with it a little
when
bit.
It alters it a little bit, but not terribly. It's just preference.
Next time I come back to New York, or if you come to Nashville, I'm gonna give you some Lafroig. I'm gonna give you some like.
Oh, Lafroig's fucking great.
That will it'll be like you're drinking gasoline.
Okay.
You're not allowed to put a drop of water in it.
All right, that's what's up. Okay.
One of the times I laughed the hardest was we have a great grocery store around here that has a great selection of whiskeys and scotch, whatever. They got everything in there, and some of them they have some expanded like flavor notes to them. And it wasn't Lafroig, but it was something along those lines. And they had on there it was like campfire, burnt something, and Band-Aids. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna buy that one. But it was just weird to have something like that thrown in.
I'm actually very excited because like I can't afford this shit in New York, but I'm going to New Jersey. I love Highland Park 18. Oh, it's good. I prefer the 25, but I'm not made of money, so.
One that's cheaper, that's not bad if you're along Scotch, but if you want to go a little less expensive, have you ever had Shoulder Monkey?
I never even seen it.
Okay, that's a little less expensive one that I think it's decent for the price if you're not wanting to go expensive.
Yeah. But I like my Kentucky bourbon too. I was drinking Woodford Reserve. It's almost over, so I think I might do a refill. I'm feeling pretty good.
You're only a third done with the live stream, so you better.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit more than a third. He has to catch a train.
I have to catch a train to go buy said scotch.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole point.
Okay.
I thought you were going to go see your mom.
Yes.
It's all about the scotch.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He lied. He just wanted to go get more scotch.
Yeah. No.
That's all right. I have to leave early anyway too because I have to go see the monkey. So.
Wait.
Oh, you
That's
stinker.
a good reason.
I was going to go see that today, but then it was.
I do want to see that one.
I didn't go.
Is the monkey opening?
It's coming out today. Yeah.
Today, yeah.
I'm gonna try to go see it in the morning, depending on what the roads are
our boy
like.
Osgood Perkins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was disappointed with long legs.
I'm gonna do a refill.
I'm hoping.
I don't think I liked Long Legs mostly because I like that like theology horror and such things that deal with the devil and things is my jam. I don't think it holds up in rewatch value. Like I have not. To me, The Substance does, and Nosferatu does. Like those movies last year, but I feel no urge to go watch Long Legs. Just put it on randomly.
Yeah, I didn't want to see it again after the first time.
I went and saw that with like 4 YouTube friends that I met. We met up in real life and went and watched that one, and I felt like I was the only one that walked out of there that was like. I was like, oh, that was no good. And everybody else was like, what did you watch? And they're like, all like, this is awesome. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to shut up.
So fantastic. And I was disappointed.
Well, because the marketing was superb.
Exactly.
It was done so well.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, but then you go into the movie and you're like, oh, this is nothing like what the marketing actually said.
Right.
It's not as good as the marketing.
Have you ever read?
Think it was going to be.
Have you ever read his Ask Me Anything Reddit when he was doing? He's a pompous little shit.
Oh, Osgood? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. He's like
talking
very.
About that film. He was like, "Oh yeah, the movie's just about things I like to do. I just throw shit at the wall, and like that's cool. So we're gonna put it in the movie." There was no rhyme or reason to it.
Oh.
Talking down to everybody who asked him a question.
Oh my god! Everyone who asked him a question, he was just like, just above it. It's like, dude, why
who was
are you
this?
here?
Oz Perkinson.
It's like, why are you even answering questions from fans? Like, these are people who actually like the movie and want to talk about it, and he's just being a dick to all of them.
Oh,
that's why I think they put him on the forefront of the Monkeys marketing to make him seem a little bit more relatable. Because all interviews I've seen, he's a little bit more toned down.
Yeah.
But
plus,
there's
this
supposedly
seems a little more. Because like James Wan's producing it, this seems a little more like accessible to the general audience than like
it's
Long Legs was,
the story in Skeleton Crew for Stephen King too. So I was re-listening to it this morning.
It's a great short story, but it seems like he's just doing his own thing with it because like nobody actually dies in the short story. It's all in the past, and this seems like it's just all in the present. So I think he's just going to go his own way with it and tell his own story. So if it's fun, I'm there for it. But
there's supposed to be There's supposed to be like a sneak preview after the trailers, after the credits of his like next project. That's
he's got
the
something coming
rumor.
out in the fall
I've heard
too.
of it, but I don't remember what it's.
Sorry, so was the monkey based on Stephen King?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a short story in Skeleton Crew.
From 1980.
I thought when you said Skeleton Crew, my brain
thinking
jumped.
of the Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's really short. It's like 30 pages.
I'm not that nerd. Not that nerd.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have a Princess Leia blaster tattooed on me, but that's about it.
Phenomenal.
That's it. There's
So
only
you-
3 movies.
You
That's
draw the
about
line
it.
after that. You draw. The
Yeah. There's only 3 movies to me. That's about it. I'm good. I'm good.
You mean 7, 8, and 9, right?
Yeah. 4.
Gosh,
No,
I'm so
1,
glad
2,
nobody's made that argument.
What are you talking about? Those are the best Star Wars movies there are.
I haven't even heard
that's
kids say
YouTube
that.
viewers.
I haven't had Disney Plus in over a year. I'm good. I don't. You enjoy.
Keep that up.
I mean,
Enjoy.
there's nothing I would want out of Disney Plus. I don't know.
Never got
I'm scared for
Disney Plus.
Daredevil, man. I'm scared.
Snow White is going to be the movie of the year.
Cautiously optimistic.
I'm selective in my Marvel reading, and Daredevil's one I've always read since I was younger, and I really liked the Netflix show. I have no faith in this.
No,
Don't
I
care
don't
about it. I
either.
have zero faith. Especially what they did with Kingpin at the end of Hawkeye. I was like, you
Oh,
serious?
wasn't that?
here?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! And the way he was treated in Echo.
Oh, I didn't even bother. Didn't even
about
bother
Queen?
with it.
Ugh.
I'm
I
Queen
can't.
Pin, though.
Yeah, and you're wasting one of the best iterations of Kingpin. Although don't get me wrong. What is it? Michael Clark Duncan was, I thought, a pretty good one.
Oh, from the movie.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
After
I
watching
went there. I went there.
Wow.
Man, that movie's still
Hot
better than
take.
a couple of things that have come out in the last
Agreed.
5-10
Yeah,
years.
Agreed.
I know.
Daredevil 2003 is better than Captain America 4.
I believe you.
That's
Oh,
not a
yeah,
hot take.
yeah.
That's not a hot take.
No, you want to? Here, I'll give you a hot take about Captain America: Brave New World. It's better than Captain America: Civil War.
What? You're
Yeah,
tripping.
no, that's definitely a hot
Dude,
take.
you're
I-
nuts.
I
Here's
don't
here's
even-
another hot take
Talk
similar
about
to your
hot takes.
to your view on Dark Knight Rises being better than the Dark Knight.
Oh, here we go.
I like Rises. Everyone hates on Rises. Rises
Civil
isn't that
War has
bad.
one of the best villains.
I enjoyed
Oh, you
Rises.
too?
I enjoyed Rises as well.
I can
Yes. It's just not as good as the Dark Knight.
easily tell you why Civil War. I mean, I have all my notes here. Why Civil War is a bad movie. And,
Oh wait, I thought you said Winter Soldier. My bad. You might.
Winter
Winter
Soldier is the
Soldier,
best.
yeah.
The
Best
best Captain America.
MCU film ever for me.
Wait, which one?
No, wait,
The
let's
Winter
Slav
Soldier.
talk.
Winter
I
Soldier.
gotta hear this breakdown.
Yeah, let's-
you
I-
said
I'm
you said it was
curious.
easy, so let's.
Hold on, I gotta pull my notes.
clear the
Oh,
playing
he's got
field
a
and let
Well,
him.
he's got
got
notes.
list
He's
notes
got
on.
notes.
My
Okay,
notes are
okay.
here. Just give me a
Three
second.
sentences or less.
I'm
Go.
curious.
Sentences or less. Come on.
I'm super
Corey the
curious.
teacher.
They could be run-on sentences. Come on.
I'm joking.
Come on.
Slav, I think you're gonna have to be the tiebreaker because you're like the resident DC guy.
I am the DC guy, aren't I?
So you break the tie here, or
If
break
you're
the
the-
stalemate.
I have a question for you. If you're the DC guy, what are you thinking of Creature Commando?
I actually really enjoyed Creature Commandos.
Okay.
I mean, was it exactly like the comics? No, but I mean, I didn't want it to be exactly like the comics because I wanted the comics aren't anything big. Like, if the comics were like a massive hit, then I would have been like, yeah, make it like the comics because they're a beloved comic, but they're not. And you kind of want to get people into this weird world. So change it up a little bit, get people into it a different way. And that's why I was kind of okay with James Gunn changing it up a little bit and putting his little James Gunn spin on it. I'm a fan of James Gunn. I like when he changes things up a little bit. I also am okay with changing iterations slightly to characters when you put them on the big, or like on, the screen. Not completely, but I like when they do that because you're taking control. You're basically a new writer. It's just like when you get a new writer in a comic book, you're going to change things up. You're not going to stay true to what the previous writer did or what the writer 10 writers ago did. You're going to change things up. So yeah, things will be different. So I'm okay with that.
And that's actually how we got the Dark Knight because it was what Miller
I-
did Batman Year Zero. Is that what Dark Knight was based off of? If I'm not mistaken.
I have Batman right here. Let me see.
Sorry, what was the Dark Knight based on? I thought it was Batman Year Zero.
Year one.
No,
year one. Yeah.
No, year one
Batman
came out
Begins.
much later.
Oh, okay. Which,
Okay, wait. He's
No, I
not
think
off the
he-
hook. I want to
Yeah.
hear this.
Waiting.
Captain America 4 is
Okay,
better
still
than
waiting.
Civil War.
After that, I want to know your opinion of the Superman trailer. But go for it.
You're not wiggling out of this.
I'm not wiggling out of it. I'm
Let's
not
go.
wiggling out of it.
Let's go.
All right.
here we go.
Let it out.
All right. So first off, I have all my points right here for why Civil War is terrible. One, it's the writing, the weak premise, the ridiculous villain plan, which ironically, the villain plan in Civil War and Brave New World is almost exactly the same. So that kind of negates itself and cancels each other out. There's no real consequence in Civil War at all. Like there's zero consequence that comes out of Civil War. It's supposed to be this whole big thing, but there's no consequence from it at all. We can't really base anything off Brave New World from that because we don't know what the consequence will come from that. So there's that. The character decisions in Civil War are complete bullshit. Like for instance, Ant-Man, his whole premise of his life is like, I want to get back with my daughter. I want to spend time with my daughter. And then Captain America, who's on the run, he's like, hey man, why don't you come with me and break the law? I'm on the run from the law and help me break some laws so you can get imprisoned. Sure, let's go. Like that's not what Ant-Man would do in that case. Like that's just stupid. So that's one thing there. It ignores continuity like crazy. There's inconsistencies in the movie's narrative, things that they contradict previous events in the MCU.
Now I have to go back and watch this.
The film's portrayal of the Avengers accountability from the original Avengers film. The movie states that the Avengers run around without answering to anyone, but actually there was S.H.I.E.L.D., and they answered to the World's Secret Council. I mean, there's things that just are terrible. The biggest one that I always go at, and people, try to negate me on it, but they can't, is the relationship between Tony and Steve. There was never a friendship between Tony and Steve. From the very beginning, they did not like each other. And everybody talks about like how that was like such a driving point of that movie, and there was no friendship between them. Tony despised and did not like Steve because his father talked about him so much. He mentions it. He says he did not like it, but that was the driving force of this film. And it's like, come on now, no.
But Steve also thinks that Tony's super arrogant.
Exactly.
I never saw them as friends, but I was still bothered by the conflict between them. And I chose sides. I chose Cap's side.
And then you have this whole idea, and I know this is something that people bring up all the time, is everything that happens in this film is just by happenstance. Like everything that happens it happens by coincidence. Like they show up at the same location with a VHS player that's working with a VHS tape, and they all happen to see the same thing at the same time. And this happens because everything is just happenstance in this movie. It is not a good movie. And
but Zoller, the bad guy, set that up on Zemo. There you go. Yeah. Zoller?
Zoller, yeah.
I'm thinking of that filmmaker, Zoller. Anyway, yeah, Zemo, he planned all that. So that was orchestrated.
And also it has Spider-Man in it, so that's a plus, right?
There's another thing. Spider-Man was
the introduction of Black Panther was
Black Panther.
Spider-Man's addition actually hurt the movie. It was cool to get him in there, I will agree, but at the time, but he adds nothing to the film. It takes away from the weight of the story, even though they really there was nothing, like when he was added in there, it did nothing to the story. Like adding him in there was just like, oh look, it's Spider-Man. Like that's all it was. Like it did nothing.
That's a fair point, but it was just introducing him to the MCU. At large.
I'll tell you what, that one scene at the airport when he drops in, the crowd in the theater I was in cheered. Like,
but again,
like out loud.
It was from a story perspective. You're right.
Right, but I mean, it was.
But they went for the cheers.
Cool
they went for the
like,
cheers and the excitement. Which, hey, more power to them.
It worked,
you know.
I mean, the
more
Spider-Man films are like.
Did you like Deadpool and Wolverine?
Did I like Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah.
Yes, but they're two totally different types of films.
Okay.
Totally different types of films.
Yeah.
You're going into Deadpool and Wolverine expecting one thing and getting one thing out of it. You're going into Captain America Civil War expecting one thing, expecting to get another thing out of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
What were you expecting out of Civil War?
Civil War. After coming out of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, I was going in there
but Civil War does not immediately follow Winter Soldier. It follows way more events in the larger universe.
You're right, but I mean, I was going in there expecting the Civil War moniker, first of all, expecting from what the comics were, you're expecting for it to be similar in a sense to what happened in the comics. And yeah, you get that a little bit, but it really wasn't. I mean, that airport scene, which I guess you can sit there and say was kind of cool, but even back then in 2016, whenever I watched it, I was just kind of like, this is it. Like, you get 8 heroes.
Dude, that sequence at the airport is worth more. Just that sequence in the airport is worth more than the entirety of Captain 4.
Yeah, 100%.
Has more creativity,
100%.
Better writing and characters, the balancing and juggling of what, 14, 12, a dozen characters is so much more well done. The entirety of Cap 4. And
I can honestly say,
wait. Well, let me respond to everything you just said. So everything you just said about how there are no consequences to Civil War. Granted, I agree with you that Tony and Steve weren't friends. However, they were on the same side. It's like if RFK and Trump hated each other. Like, look, they're probably not friends. They probably don't golf together. But it's a similar equivalency of if they like butted heads to the point where they started suing each other. What happens is such a fracture in that team. That's a huge consequence unto itself. And
if they didn't, but if I would sit here and say, yeah, you're absolutely right, but if there wasn't a specific line in that movie that says he's my friend, so was I, then I would say, okay, yeah, you're fine. But they specifically put a line in the movie that is exactly that. He's my friend, so was I. Like, come on. Like, you weren't. You were never friends.
They were friends by circumstance.
No, they weren't.
They weren't buddy. They were just.
They weren't buddy. They were just
friends.
Exactly. Like since Avengers 1.
They were work acquaintances. They were somebody you go to work with that you have to deal with, that you see pass by your office. You're like, man, I hate that guy. But,
I thought the scene in Age of Ultron where they're all bullshitting about Thor's hammer and trying to lift it. That was, they're all hanging out together.
Camaraderie,
Yeah.
I mean, there are things that are probably off screen where they were probably, doing things like that we don't know about, and to, the consequences of the rest of Civil War was the fracture of the team that led over into, it echoed into other films. That's a huge consequence.
Really
because in Infinity War and Endgame, Tony's like, well, fucking A, we should have done what I said to do in Civil War, which was to put up like the protective shield or what I forget what it was, but sorry, I'm not a very good nerd right now. But,
did Rhodey losing his ability to walk?
He was a Skrull. He became a Skrull. So
oh God, I reject that shit. That is.
Hang back. Are you?
That's when bad writers came into the Marvel.
Exactly. Agreed, Kyle.
Secret Invasion. I know.
Yes.
Wait.
After he gets injured, he becomes a Skrull.
In Secret Invasion.
No, after he gets injured. We don't know when exactly, but after he gets injured, he's a Skrull at some point.
Yeah, that felt
that's
like
one of the worst
that they wrote by the seat of their pants.
So that's a continuity break.
One of the worst.
Yeah.
I think the Russo brothers have any say.
Sorry, what about the Russo brothers?
Did the Russo brothers have any say in Rhodey becoming a Skrull?
I just hope it was after Endgame. As long as it's after Endgame, I'm okay with it, because that moment with him and Tony is important. But
I'll take that as a no. So
no way they had anything to do with that.
You're talking about a contrast. You're talking about a contrast of the peak of when things were great. It ended. It started. Well, the peak was in 2019, and then downsloped with a whole bunch of fucking wokies that came in and didn't know how to fucking write and destroyed the great things that were established prior to that.
I wouldn't even say it was wokies, like the Eternals and all the crap that came after Endgame. It wasn't a matter of wokeness. I think it was a matter of a lack of a plan, and B, just shitty fucking writing. Just straight up.
I think wokeness did.
Also, people not
DEI, dude. DEI hires
involved with it. It was DEI, lack of a plan, terrible writers, people. I mean, it was everything. All
not reading the IP, not reading the comics, not at least having an understanding of where these characters are coming from.
Well, the thing is, like,
it's true. There's that, but there's also, even if someone isn't well versed in the comics, a good writer is still capable of creating good stories.
Yeah,
it just helps if you are ingrained in the comic book stories, so that you can respect it and honor it, etc.
Well, that's exactly what Henry Cavill tried to do with The Witcher, because he's like, he read the books, he played the video games. And then Netflix is like, nah, just kidding. And so that's why
season 1 was decent.
I mean, no. Henry Cavill was good.
Yeah.
It was just Netflix was moronic because they didn't give a shit about the lore, and Henry Cavill did. So he's like, well, fuck you guys.
They started to make it,
and now we have the wish list Hemsworth as the new Witcher. So
I stopped watching.
I never finished season 3.
I never even finished season 2.
I finished season 2.
Was not great.
Last question I'll ask about Civil War is: Black Panther's dad dying not a consequence?
Oh, that's a good point.
All right, you get 1 point. 1 point out of my 15. But I will say this. I mean, it's all subjective. It is. It's all subjective. I understand that. But I would actually much rather watch Brave New World over this. I actually have more fun watching.
You don't have to say either or. Like you're choosing to do that. I mean, you don't have to, man.
I don't have to watch either one. You're right. But if I had, if gun to my head, I would watch Brave New World over this.
Really?
I will
no
never
way.
Watch Brave New World again. There is nothing to go back to for Brave
there's
New
nothing
World.
to dissect
in
Brave New
nothing
World.
redeeming about that film that makes me ever want to watch it again.
But adamantium. But.
Oh sure, let's bring in the Eternals and let's bring in the Incredible Hulk, the two least important films in the entire that should have just been a Hulk movie. Like
it should have.
It's all these characters
the issue
from the Hulk.
Well, the problem is that Disney doesn't own the Hulk.
Universal still owns that, but still, it's like, why even write that story then? Why write a story that surrounds you with characters from a film that's 16 years old that people are like, wait, who are these characters? Like,
yeah.
And who cared about the story too, right? Who needed this story finished?
Nobody.
Right.
I knew it's not. It's not.
Hold on. What he was doing, like,
Slav. How could you
finished?
like the third act sequence where just because the president turns into the Hulk, his Secret Service detail start unloading all their pistols on him, and then they send an attack helo to mow him down and destroy the White House.
It was so bad.
And instead of his daughter talking him down at the cherry blossom scene, like his daughter could have been waiting there to like meet him after his press conference, and
which was a waste of Liv Tyler.
Dear God. And it was so poorly shot. They shot her through these prison bars and her face is partially obscured.
Yeah.
That's the scene they bring her in. It's like, no, they couldn't have her stand up like Anthony Mackie. Mackie just talks down the Red Hulk like, oh, you just stop, okay. And then he talks.
You need to do better.
He's like, where the hell was Liv Tyler in that scene?
You need to do better, Senator.
You need to do better, President Ross. Like,
better how?
I know it's not the same studio, but with all these things coming out, I really wonder what Batgirl was like. Was it really that bad?
How much would you pay to see that?
I would pay full admission, like full $25 on opening night.
No. Okay.
In IMAX.
Would you pay IMAX 3D price?
I would.
Yeah,
I would.
100%. 100%.
You might have to remortgage your house after that.
Hard Eyes missed the mark. They should have done it 3D. Just like My Bloody Valentine's. My Bloody Valentine 3D. They should have done that movie in 3D.
I want a rebuttal to that, or an agreement.
That Hard Eyes should have been in 3D.
Yeah, to kind of like a nod to the My Bloody Valentine.
Oh yeah. I mean,
it-
I wouldn't care either way because I don't really like 3D movies.
I can't do 3D. It gives me headaches.
I think it would have been a lot of fun.
I fucking walked out of Avatar 2.
No,
Avatar-
hey,
Avatar
that was
was
good
a
in
movie to
3D,
begin
man.
with.
I'll give it
Oh.
that.
I'm not saying it's bad. I just can't. Personally, I can't do it. It ends up giving me a headache.
Sometimes I get motion sickness. Avatar 2 did not give me motion sickness, but after the initial that's kind of cool wore off, I still hated the movie. So
I walked out of
So
Avatar
warm.
1 saying, "What the
I
fuck
meant.
is
I'm sorry.
this?"
Nice.
I'm sorry.
You
meant
were ahead of
Avatar-
everyone else.
Yeah.
I meant
Good eye on
Avatar
Nadia.
1
Well,
because I
Look,
never saw the second one.
It's Dances with Wolves with Smurfs
It's
in
Dances
space.
with Smurfs. It's not.
It's
no
Fern
Dances-
Gully.
In space.
Dances-
Fern Gully.
It is
So
Fern
bad.
Gully in space or Dances with Smurfs.
Yeah.
I call it
I
that.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yes.
this is a hot take because I absolutely hate 3D movies, but I loved Tron Legacy in 3D.
Oh,
I haven't even
okay.
seen that.
No,
No, that was good.
okay.
With the
No,
soundtrack
it was the-
going
it was-
on.
No, it was the only proper
Daft
use
Punk?
of 3D I've ever seen. It was the world was 3D. It wasn't shit popping out at you. It was the entire universe was
Ecosystem,
three dimensional.
yeah.
That
All
was
I'm
the
saying
only
is
one I've
I'll
ever
agree-
seen it
I'll
done
agree
right.
with you on
It was
that one.
textured with minute things and details that were moving around.
Yeah, it wasn't like
Yeah.
something shot out at your face.
Right,
in a
right,
3D
right.
moment,
Has-
whatever. Like that's the gimmick shit. But this felt like you're in this computer simulation and the world felt 3 dimensional, which was cool.
Has anyone watched a movie in 4DX? Because I've seen Twister and
Yeah,
Deadpool and Wolverine.
I'm not a
4DX.
fan. I'm not a fan. I think the
want it.
seat shaking and shit. It's just distracting.
I think it enhanced the viewing of Twisters. To me, it was fun because
Yeah.
I feel that is a movie to see in that type of environment, right? You get the water sprayed in your face. You're moving. I saw Deadpool and Wolverine as well in it. It was kind of fun. Your seat moving with the camera turning around and stuff. So
I saw The Little Mermaid. and I walked out.
Lord,
and I walked out.
why?
Did it help Aquafina singing?
Jeez.
No. But so here's the thing that I saw that as a third movie that I snuck into. I forget. The Machine was one of them. And I forget what else I saw. And then I'm like, I'm going to go check out Little Mermaid. If it's for free, who gives a shit? And I ended up walking out of that movie halfway through. I'm like, fuck this
I
movie.
wouldn't even watch that film for free.
No,
that's how I felt about The Wolfman. I saw that as one of those preview ones months before it was released, and it was for free. And my husband and I both wanted to walk out halfway through that movie.
Wait, how'd you do that? You said a preview for free. What is that? Like at a theater?
Sometimes
It's
they
a
do
company
early
that
screenings.
Yeah, it's a company that you sign up for, and they'll send you emails saying, "Hey, do you want to see this movie?" And
That's
you go
cool.
to the theater, line up, and they'll scan a certain amount of people, but they take your phone away and they lock your
Oh.
phone. So
Wow.
I've never had them take my phone away.
Agreed.
And
They
you
don't,
have
they don't
to-
do that for the ones I go to.
you have to sign an NDA too. I had to sign an
I don't
NDA.
do
so
that
for-
either.
For
Oh,
months.
You know what?
I saw
actually,
the Wolfman's advertisement come out, especially for Halloween Horror Nights, when they put that awful. Everybody's like, "Nah, this can't be the Wolfman in the." No, I had to bite my tongue. I'm like, no, that is the Wolfman you're gonna get in the fucking movie.
So
The movie's
what's the
fucking
yeah, you,
awful.
you saw it.
What's
You
the
know
point
it.
of it if you
not.
can't talk about
Yes,
it?
it
Like
is.
what do you do with
No.
that?
because
You
you're
can't-
supposed to give them
You
your
can't.
opinion,
You
right?
can't.
Yeah, you're not.
No,
Your
you
test
give them
screening?
they give you like a tablet at the end, and you write your opinion
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
movie, but you yourself can't review the movie or
You
release
can't.
a
You
review
can't even
until
tell
the
people that was the
Yeah.
movie
Until
you
the
saw.
embargo lifts.
until the review
Wow.
embargo lifts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
that's-
I actually
yeah.
saw Collateral that way, way back when, 2003, 2004, whenever that
Oh,
movie
that's
came out.
cool.
I've been
Yeah.
invited to see Sinners 3 times. I just haven't been able
Oh
to.
wow, that's cool.
Huh.
It just didn't line up with it. So, but
That's
I am
int-
actually pretty excited to see that one. so.
That actually looks pretty cool.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, the more the trailers have come out, actually helps the movie. The initial trailer, I was like 50-50
Well,
on it.
now
The
you
last
have
one
like a
was-
sense of what the movie's actually about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Make
that
vampires
called?
scary again.
What's that
Yes.
called? That service?
I'm
I've
asking
never heard
you.
that.
Let me.
At
here,
first, I thought you were talking about GoFobo screenings, but I'm not sure what one. You must be referring to something different. I've done some advanced screeners online and had to sign NDAs for that.
That's sweet.
I know.
Preview Free Movie is the company.
Preview free movie.
Huh.
I know it's
Maybe I
completely
have seen
different,
that
but the experience I had with that was actually going to a Jack White concert, and you had to put your phones. They locked them away. and you didn't get it until you came back out. They wanted you off the phone. He goes, I want you enjoying the music and experience this with people in that moment and not trying to just video it.
Yeah, like, Florence Welch from Florence and the Machine did that the 2 times that I've seen her. She's fucking awesome live.
That Jack White concert was awesome too.
Oh yeah, like I actually saw the White Stripes, like when they were the White Stripes. That was a great show. Like very good lighting too.
Joe Rogan, Dave Chappelle show that I saw did that to us, where they had to lock our phones away because they didn't want anybody recording the show.
Yeah.
Wait, you went to go see them live, or what was it?
Yeah, a couple of years. I think this was the first year I moved to Vegas. They were touring together, so it was Joe Rogan with Dave Chappelle, and then Tom Segura opened for them as well. So it was a pretty good show.
I'm not saying I was immune to it, but it's so funny how nervous people got not knowing that they would be able to access their phone for like a couple hours, during the concert. But like people are like, oh my gosh, I can't give this.
I mean, you do feel pretty tethered to it.
It's funny. I like to make fun of people like that, but I can't say that I didn't have a little bit of a feeling of like, oh my gosh, I can't.
People who pull out their phones in movie theaters.
Oh, I will not do that. I will not do that. I shut my phone off during.
So I actually got kind of in trouble during my second time that I saw Dune Part 2. I went to go see it in IMAX, and I was like, I had to meet a friend like directly after the movie, and he was texting me like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm running late." And so like I tried to do it under my jacket, and like the few people behind me started kicking my seat.
Crap.
Yeah, you were that person.
I was that person. But like everybody was so invested in Dune Part 2 in IMAX that, but...
I don't understand people who just sit on their phone while they're watching the movie, because I've seen that many times where they're by themselves to watch the movie and they're just on their phone the whole time.
Okay, so I use a phone, but to take notes about the movie, but I try to be very, very subtle. Because I know it bothers people, so I got one of those pens with a light on the end to use that for when I'm writing notes. But the problem with that is I don't want to keep the light on the whole time, so it's click, very loud click to turn it off, a very loud click. I was like, well, that's freaking annoying. So I'm just back to my phone.
Well, the best thing to do is to go to the last aisle
I go to the that is my preferred seating. Is
really
back in the middle. Yes, I love that.
Interesting. I'm like middle of the middle. Like I don't want anybody
behind me. I just like to be all the way at the back.
I'll tell you what. I was barely out to the theater to get this when we were talking about movies moving out of the theaters really quickly, and I'm in a small market. So last year was Late Night with the Devil, which I really loved. Loved that movie. Yeah. But I went the last day they had it in I'm a small market, but luckily some people on YouTube were talking about it, and I wanted to go out and see it. I got out to that. I was literally the only person in the entire theater, and I had a middle of the whole theater seat. Yeah. I moved all the way to the back.
Right.
I'm not too proud. I'm not
things behind you.
I'm not too proud to say that I wanted the wall to my back.
I'm gonna take this opportunity and call out Sin for recommending that movie.
Oh, great film!
Very good movie.
Oh, Late Night with the Devil. Yeah. I love David. He's great.
Like that.
Yeah.
Got it somewhere here. But.
I did that with Terrifier. I did a double feature of Terrifier 2 and 3 by myself because my husband was like, doesn't do gore like that. But for some reason, my theater was, because it was the double feature theater, was very empty. So I had a whole row to myself on it, all by myself watching Terrifier 3.
I love that. I love it when I have the whole theater to myself.
Hard Eyes, I only had 2 other people with me. There was one couple and my lonely self by
the mystery movie nights are getting more and more full.
Oh,
well, they've been full before.
I'll say mystery movie night with Unbreakable Boy, with what I ended up having and Sin did too. That was actually pretty packed compared to.
There were several in my theater.
There was quite a few in mine for that one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get a refill.
That's a good movie. That's a good.
Yeah, well,
you got to take off. Paul.
I think that's a good segue to. I guess Kyle's gonna be triple fisting after.
No.
So I wanted to go around the horn to see what people are working on. How about you, Slav?
Me? Well, I got my channel /freetalk.com or /freetalk. And then I do have a website /freetalk.com. But you can find me at either place. Just doing videos, doing a lot of DC talk. So you can find me there. But I talk all pop culture and all that stuff. Try to get a few videos up each week. So find me there. Find me on X /freetalk, all that kind of fun stuff.
Well, you're definitely very active on X. I know that.
Very active.
Which everybody's already knows that me and you go back and forth.
Yeah.
What's your channel name?
My channel?
Yeah.
Slav's Free Talk.
Yeah, I have the links in the description below.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Brawler, what do you got going on?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm working on a quick little video, just kind of rambling and ranting about people that are defending Captain America: Brave New World.
Wait.
Greatest movie ever.
Wait, hold on, because
that was before this stream.
Why didn't you tangle with Slav for a little?
Look,
I don't. My gas is at 5%.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
like,
You just
"Man,
got off of a live stream.
Slav, he makes good points about Civil War, but gosh, there's nothing good to say about a Brave New World. Okay, there's nothing good to say. There's something bad you could say about something else, but there's nothing good you could say about Brave New World.
I never
That's
got
for
to say
sure.
the good stuff though.
I know,
Oh my God, are we back to that?
I know so many people that have great things to say. Like they're excited for the new Captain America. They're excited to see what he's going to do next. And
are you going to call me out because I didn't completely shit on it?
Anthony Mackie.
I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out. You'll be first on the list.
Okay. Like it wasn't
Nobody's
that,
getting
like,
called
it
out.
that bad.
It's nobody here. It's more like just casual consumers that I'm seeing a lot of
The
stuff.
NPCs.
Yeah,
The
so it's
NPCs.
disappointing.
The normies.
The
The
NPCs,
normies.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that, and that's pretty much it right now.
Hardcut's got something coming up. Matt was telling me you guys are editing.
Can you
what?
see this? This is the thumbnail.
Captain Cook.
Wow.
Captain Cook.
Wait,
That's,
does he have the hat on?
No.
Oh, you
No,
You gotta have the hat, dude.
No, we didn't double it up this time because
Okay.
you'll see why. But that's coming out on Saturday.
Excellent.
Matt's working on that right now. That's why.
Is it a long one or?
It's not super long. It's probably like 20 minutes, but that's coming out on Saturday. And then because we have the Oscars coming next Sunday,
Right.
we're dropping. The girls are coming back for an Amelia Perez review.
Oh Lord, that's gonna be
Well,
fun.
hold on a second. They're not actually going to see it. Wink, wink.
Well,
Are
I
they?
kind of have to watch it so I can write the script.
But didn't you not watch The Acolyte?
No, I didn't watch The Acolyte. But yeah, exactly. But like for
Right,
this,
and that still worked.
I don't think you have to suffer.
That's still
Exactly.
I don't think you need to suffer.
But like, no, but I'm actually. So far, I'm like halfway through it, and there's like little things that are really informing the script for this. So
Okay.
Matt's definitely not watching it, but I'm suffering through it, so I can. I mean, it'll be like a 4-minute video because it's it's just
Are you feeling the brainwashing coming on you?
Oh, it's pretty rough. But
the real question is, when is the girl's cousin from New York coming for which movie?
Paulina, are you referring to?
What movie? What movie?
Yeah, what movie? That's the key question.
I don't know, but
I'm glad I don't have to come up with a movie for this, and I can just come and do a guest spot, and we know what movie we're gonna do.
Yeah, we won't put you in a wig.
Nothing that requires the girls.
But, I don't know. We got to figure that out. Paul and I have to have a discussion about.
They say, because I can't wait. I can't wait.
No, but okay. So speaking of the Oscars, who here has seen The Brutalist?
I have not seen it.
Is it worth watching?
I downloaded it. Is it worth the 3 hours?
Am I the only one who's seen it?
3+ hours.
Nope.
Okay, so I saw it in the theater. There's something weird with just the technical aspect I'll touch on first is they definitely added artificial grain and scratches into and artifacts into the movie, because I noticed then there's an intermission, which is welcome. I think more movies should do that are of 3 hours plus.
My bladder agrees.
You get 15 minutes to do whatever. You can check your phone. You can go take a whiz, etc. But I noticed that there was a particular part of the screen, and they had a picture of the character in like a family photo. They just held on, and there was a countdown. But I held my eye on a particular part of the screen, and sporadically there was a pop of artifact, like a circular grain that appeared on the screen, and it was the same spot every
cigarette burn.
A cigarette burn every 15 or 20 seconds. And okay, these aren't natural occurrences in the film. And so what I really didn't like, and I was put off by, was that the director is so proud that they shot on actual film, but then they're adding these artificial artifacts to the film. It didn't make sense to me. And so if I'm looking at the intermission and it does appear in the rest of the film, but I wasn't paying attention to the reoccurrence and repetition of that because I'm actually trying to watch the film, but the intermission allowed me to notice it.
Is that what you're reviewing next?
I don't know. Maybe it might just end up being just a short.
I mean, we're wrapping up. What do you have going on, Kyle?
Okay.
He's got to go.
Yeah. Okay. For real then. So just released a really good conversation I had with a good friend and actor, Benjamin J. Slack, about The Godfather, and I saw it for the first time. And we're in front of a campfire and all that, and it's really great. So go and check that out. We're going to follow up with the second film. And I also have a friend who is an actual lawyer, and I did a poll on
my cousin Benny should be option 1.
It wasn't a part of the poll because me and Sean, my friend who's the lawyer, we talked about it and it just didn't come up, so that's why it wasn't in the poll.
Well, that's apparently the most realistic expression of lawyers in movies.
Well, I'll have a conversation with him, and maybe there'll be something else. But the movie that won in the poll was The Fugitive. So
okay,
yeah. So I'm going to sit down with him, and we're going to talk about that. And he's got some really good insights. He's a criminal lawyer.
And Nadia, I know you have to go. What do you have going on?
Tomorrow on my channel, my panel is going to finish out Stranger Things season 1.
Dope.
And then Saturday I do a first time watch through of the X-Files. So I'll be talking about episode 11 and 12, and then every Tuesday I talk horror.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, and awesome. Every Tuesday I talk horror, and then recently I had Brandon Salisbury on, director of George Romero's Resident Evil documentary.
Cool. Nice.
I had him on for about 2.5 hours talking about it.
That's awesome. Nice. Well, looking forward to that. Yeah,
my hometown.
Nice. Sin, what do you got going on?
I'm going to go see The Monkey tomorrow and hopefully get a review out. I want to do an audio review also for a French movie I finished screening, but I don't know when.
So classy.
Nice.
Peeky up.
Corey, what have you got going on?
I'm just going to say thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate
Of course.
Let me join in with everybody. Had a great time.
Yep.
I'll just say I try to post everything onto my community, the post thing on YouTube. So I'll just leave it at that. I appreciate you having me on. I had a good time.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
And I guess it's me. I will be doing a review of my dead friend Zoe. And I really want to review the Gorge. Fuck it. Why not? And then I just finished up a pretty killer intro for a new series I'm starting probably Saturday afternoons called Under the Reel, where we dive deep into one specific movie.
March 1st.
That is the tentative date, as long as I've got all my ducks in a row. But I was so excited because I was like, I don't know how the hell I'm doing this intro. Like I had like an AI thing, and I'm like, well, this looks cool. But then I found this idiot-proof Adobe After Effects template, and it's primo. So I am gonna have to like redo it every episode or whatever, but it looks pretty good. So
your last video did well.
Yeah, I mean, so I got shadow banned my last few videos. Yeah, so my usual average, I break over 1,000, and the last few, like I don't know. YouTube hates me. I need to email them. Yeah, I went on Twitter and started bitching about it, and they reached out. So I was like, "Yo, YouTube's shadow banning this." So I'm posting on Rumble, and I guess that was like, "Oh fuck, we better not let Rumble take over." And so I got to just email them back and be like, "Yo, like I'm getting no impressions on these videos."
Why? Did they answer you?
So I've yet to email them back.
But, they replied.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, because I started bitching about it on Twitter, and
they actually to you on Twitter.
They did, usually. Yeah. And especially if you put the word Rumble in there, because they're really afraid of competition. Clearly.
Oh yeah, they've turned off the ability to auto port your videos over to Rumble and Odyssey.
My videos don't get any impressions either. It's weird. It's like just came out of nowhere, and
yeah,
I just kind of kept running.
Yeah, I mean, just keep going. Whatever. I've succumbed, and I've started doing fucking shorts. I'm sorry, I'm contributing to the downfall of Western society by doing shorts, but them
shorts
bitches are getting views.
They're a good tool to use to promote your channel.
Somebody calls me out. It's like, this video had no point, and I'm like, does any short have a fucking point? Like,
well, to link to your longer form video.
That's what that's the whole point, Sid.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm like, yeah, no, it wasn't supposed to have a point. It was supposed to be you getting over your ADD and going to the long form content.
That's a big ask.
And on that note, well, happy Thirsty Thursdays.
Yep.
We got a few good drinks in. My second rounder was rye, and I realized why I don't like rye. So I'm going to leave that for mixing and not for drinking. But yeah, that is it for tonight, folks.
Good to be back.
It's on, man. Good
Thanks
time.
for having
Good
me.
having
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Guys.
You are all part of the family. You're all welcome back.
You're
And
so
with that-
sweet.
It's that second glass talking.
Yeah,
It is that second glass talking. Yeah.
that's the drink talking.
Well, yep. Bye.
But I'll
everybody.
take it. I'll take it.
Yep. Have a good night, everybody.